and virtually. I have one announcement. The next Leadership Council meeting will be Saturday, March 14th at 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. here in the West Room. The topic is collaboration, understanding the difference between above the line and below the line. What does that mean? Well, come out and find out. When you come, you'll learn about our committees, participate in a team-building activity. So please contact any member of the leadership development team, Kathy Finch, Nancy Kepner, Becca Hovermail, Janet McCall, and Jessie Lamer, with questions or to reserve a spot. Now let's join in worship. Our chalice lighting. The flaming chalice is a symbol of our faith as we join with other UU churches and fellowships in this familiar ritual. As we share the light of this chalice in our sanctuary, may we also welcome those viewing remotely to light a chalice as well. Lighting this chalice may feel difficult today. This symbol of justice, known to be a light of hope for those that are hurting, this message of sanctuary for the oppressed, the flame that feels lost or diminished somehow. How do we rekindle this fire of compassion? How do we rekindle this fire of mercy? There's a famous verse within the Quran that tells us that with hardships come ease. With hardships come ease. We welcome the ease, O God of justice. We welcome the ease, O Spirit of love. We welcome the ease and rekindle this flame from our tears, our quiet suffering, from our collective prayers for those who cry for freedom. We welcome the ease and rekindle this flame on behalf of those who feel abandoned and betrayed. We welcome the ease and rekindle this flame for all the children who ask, why can we not live in peace as other children do? May lighting this chalice today, no matter how difficult it may feel, help us to rekindle compassion and mercy within the deep crevices of our heart so that we can once again bring justice and hope to a world struggling to find its humanity, struggling to find its soul. Our opening words for our service today is by the Reverend Jesse Jackson. America is not like a blanket, one piece of unbroken cloth, the same color, the same texture, the same size. Instead, America is more like a quilt made of many patches, many pieces, many colors, and many sizes, all woven together by a common thread. Now, for our opening hymn, please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and able, and join in singing our opening hymn, Building a New Way, 1017 in the Teal hymnal. The words will also appear on the screen. youngsters to come forward, or those of young of heart, for our Time for All Ages story.
Well, so I don't see any youngsters, so I'm hoping that we at least have a few young of heart who might be willing to come and join me. Yay, we've got a couple. I'm so happy. Okay. Yeah. Come on. Now, this is kind of a heavy topic, and I will say that usually I would just wing it, so now I had to make notes because this one's a toughie one. But now I'm going to just sort of pretend, because I treat all people the same, whether they're young or old or anywhere in between. So I'm just going to pretend that you're all like 6 or 7 when I say, so who knows what a bully is? Yes. Yes.
Someone who imposes their own will on other people.
I think that's a great way to put it. You treat other people unfairly or badly, but, is there anything that we can do when we see somebody getting bullied? That's, what I think kids need to learn. Anything we can do? Impeach, okay. Well, kids, I want to believe that if our children become elected officials one day. But really, I tell my kids all the time. I say, listen, if you see somebody being bullied, just say, yo, not cool, dude. Just something like that. Or tell a teacher or another grown-up. Because sometimes we just want to tell the person that's being bullied, hey, we got your back, all right? You're not alone. And that can be really an important thing. So there are lots of ways we can be kind to others. Bruce, could you flip the slide for me? So about 10 years ago, these 2 kindergarten students, and that's Mrs. Frew, she's a kindergarten teacher at Avonworth Elementary School, where my kids went. Those 2 students asked if there was anything that we could do about bullying, about people being nicer to each other. So they started a club called Be the Nice Kid. I'm wearing their shirt. Be the Kind Kid. Thank you. Be the Kind Kid. I'm wearing their shirt right now. And they wanted to teach people how to stand up to bullies, not just how not to be bullied, but also when you see it, do something about it. And this movement has been growing. In fact, Bellwood Preschool has joined the movement, and that's why my shirt, Be the Kind Kid, actually has a Bellwood logo, because they've joined. And it's starting to grow. Now, as we get older, of course, there are other ways we can show kindness and show support for people who need it. And if we see things that are unfair, I was going to ask the kids, what can you do? And I would hope that they would say, maybe when we get older, we'll write our elected officials, or maybe we can form a club like they did. But there are ways that we can do it. Bruce, kids, who knows what that is? Yeah, you all know what that is. I'm going to point one part of it. Bruce, this is a tougher one. Who knows what that is just looking at it? Anybody? That is the Bill of Rights. All right? So we're going to focus in on, this is the things, and I'm so glad you guys are here. But I would be asking the kids if they know what the Bill of Rights is, and it tells us what we can do. What are the things that we are allowed to do? Bruce, I'm going to focus in on one part of it. Can you read it? Well, they had different handwriting back then, and this is a pretty old document. Bruce, one more. I'll put this pointer. This is the First Amendment, right? And it tells us Congress shall make no law, freedom of speech. We've all heard that, but I pointed to one in particular. I've highlighted one in particular. The right of people to peaceably assemble. That's an important one. And, again, I'd be asking the kids, and I'd say, what does assemble mean? But you all know what assemble means. It means getting together as a group and doing something together as one. And that is such an important thing to learn, that this tells us that we can do that as long as we do it peacefully, and we won't get in trouble for it. So this is something that we can do. And I'm going to I'd like Bruce to switch. This is an example of our youth group, UUCNH youth group, peaceably assembling And in this case, they were talking about gun laws. But our youth group and many people in this congregation have been very active in showing their support when needed. And that is such an important thing to do. And it helps us all to feel a little less helpless. Okay, Bruce, let's switch to the book, because this is a good one. And I would tell the kids if they were here that there are so many things in this book that the grown-ups will see and they'll know what that is. Now, I'm not going to identify each and every one because we'd be here all day if we talked about all the different moments in history that this book talks about. But I'll start at the beginning. Sometimes ants march. Sometimes bands march. And sometimes people march. Marching is something people do together when they want to resist injustice or when they notice a need for change. People march for many reasons. People march for things they care about and for people they love. People march for the health of their bodies and their communities and the world. People march for the freedom to love and live and learn. This is one of those pages that has so many different moments in history that I wish we had time to call attention to. Sometimes people carry signs to share their stories of resistance. People resist in many ways. They might resist with words or song or art. Has anybody ever listened to the words to "This Land Is Your Land"? Yeah, I know James did because he sang it for us at open mic night. If you haven't done it recently, read all the lyrics to that piece. It's a powerful song. People resist with meetings. They resist by standing up or sitting down or taking a knee. Again, lots of real moments in history up here that I wish we had time to talk about, and here too. It isn't always easy. I'm fairly certain that's the Edmund Pettus Bridge on the left. Feet get tired, arms get tired, hearts and hopes get tired. Well, I was just about to say, I was going to tell the kids that the First Amendment tells us that as long as we're peaceful, we can do things without getting into trouble. And when they get older, we can talk about getting into good trouble. Sometimes problems seem too big or complex, but we do not march alone. Ants are stronger together. Bands are louder together. People are more powerful together. Sometimes from feelings of fear or anger or injustice comes the hope for change. Sometimes great change starts small with a brave question, like two kindergartners asking how we can help stop bullying. Maybe your question, a question that calls people together, can be that question that starts change. And together, we may find the courage to march, because we are allowed to assemble. Bruce? So let's assemble. All right. Thank you all so much for coming. I am so happy that we had some young at heart coming up to join us for this. Yes. Now, I don't have to sing everybody out, so we can skip this. But
Thank you.
It's a great song. It's a banger.
Let's start with our joys and concerns.
Good morning. My name is Lindsay Scott, and I have a sorrow to report. On February 18th, Carol Balance had a small stroke. She was discharged from the hospital the next day to recover at home, the symptoms having nearly disappeared. Unfortunately, on Friday morning, to use Carol's words, the symptoms came roaring back. The doctor said it wasn't another stroke, but she is left with limited feeling in her left foot, making it hard to walk. She's at home resting and will have PT and OT to help with her recovery. I know you're probably thinking about ways you can help, so I'm going to give you one way. Carol is leading the stewardship team this year and has organized several events and communications to support a successful pledge campaign. The campaign begins today and runs through April 12th, which is Celebration Sunday, so please mark that on your calendars. April 12th is when we turn in the remaining pledge cards and have a little party after church. Obviously, Carol needs some time off to recover, so she has turned things over to the rest of her team. And I'm going to ask them to stand. Mike Giazzoni, Ivan Baumwell, Kathy Seifer, Lisa Roble, and myself. Thank you. We will do our best to run the Stewardship Pledge campaign just as Carol would want us to. But let's face it, we are not Carol. We are the B team. And we could use your help to make this a success. So Carol doesn't need to worry about it. When you go home today, please think about what you would like to pledge for the upcoming year, which starts July 1st and runs through June 30th, 2027. And be prepared to turn in your pledge card when asked between now and April 12th. You'll hear more about the Stewardship Pledge campaign in the coming weeks. But let's make sure Carol's only concern is getting better. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Marcia Pedoni from the Lay Pastoral Care Team. During our service, we create this sacred space for sharing with our community. It is a time to share significant life passages with the congregation so that they can be held in loving care. I will be reading the joys and sorrows, and Ingrid Burton Smith will be placing a stone representing each joy and sorrow in the sand. The sand represents our congregation and supporting our sorrows and lifting up our joys. Today, there are 3 joys and 3 sorrows. Our first joy is from Peggy Fallon. My son-in-law made it through the grueling 12-hour surgery of esophageal cancer on Thursday, February 26, with his usual uncomplaining grace and strength. His recovery is expected to be long and difficult, but I am sure he will handle it with the same grace and strength and with healthy dose of humor added in. Thank you all for your prayers and support. To Peggy, we say, we share in your joy. Our second joy is from Zach LaPlante and his wife, Tara Tomasic. They welcomed their firstborn child, Matthew Edwin LaPlante, into the world late Friday night. Mom and baby are healthy and should be getting ready to go home by the time this Sunday service. To Zach and his wife, Tara, we say, we share in your joy. Our third joy is from Kip Ruppel. Our close friend celebrated his 60th birthday with a musical gathering of friends, family, and musicians. You're never too old to rock and roll. To Kip we say, we share in your joy. Our first sorrow is also from Kip. A friend and fixture of the Pittsburgh music scene passed away unexpectedly in late 2025. A musical memorial was held in his honor this past weekend. To Kip we say, we hold you in our hearts. A second sorrow from Kip. A close friend of mine, only sibling, passed away Wednesday morning before entering hospice. His wife passed 2 years ago. Again, to Kip we say, we hold you in our hearts. Our final sorrow, and you know, is for Carol Balance. And you understand about her stroke, and what I'm asking you is that Robin is putting together a food chain, a meal chain. So if you're interested, please contact us at cla@uucnh.org if interested to help in the food chain. So to John and Carol, we say, we hold you in our hearts. Now we place one more, oops, forgot one. My last sorrow is from Diana Hall. This is for all the pain and suffering that are a result of our country's attack on another country. To Diana and the rest of the world, we hold you in our hearts. Now we place one more stone in the sand.
For our meditation today, I would like you to get comfortable, close your eyes if you wish, and for the next 3 minutes, let's consider a few things. When we're out and about, waiting in line maybe, or watching something happen, or even here, think about the person involved, or simply think about the person in front of you. This person has a body and a mind just like me. This person has feelings, emotions, and thoughts just like me. This person at some point has been sad, disappointed, angry, hurt, or confused just like me. This person has, in his or her life, experienced physical and emotional pain and suffering, just like me. This person wishes to be free from pain and suffering, just like me. This person wishes to be safe, healthy, and loved, just like me. This person wishes to be happy, just like me. Now let's call for some of those wishes to arise. I wish for this person to have the strength, the resources, and the social support to navigate the difficulties in life. I wish for this person to be free from pain and suffering. I wish for this person to be happy, because this person is a fellow human being, just like me. We will now have our anthem. Thank you. That was beautiful. Our reading today is something that I wear on a button on a jacket, and it's democracy is not a spectator sport. Because the work of shaping a community at its heart is sacred work. Every time we show up to vote, to speak, to listen, to advocate, we are participating in something larger than ourselves. We honor the belief that every person carries an inherent dignity and that our collective life is strengthened when each voice is heard. Spectators watch from the sidelines, but a spiritually grounded democracy causes us to step up with courage, humility, and hope. Participation becomes a form of stewardship of our neighbors, our shared resources, and in the future that we will hand to the next generation. It becomes an act of faith. Faith that our efforts matter, that justice is possible, and that communities can grow towards compassion and truth. When we withdraw, we leave the shaping of our shared life to the few, the rich, the powerful, and the greedy. But when we engage, we breathe life into the values we claim to hold: love of neighbor, responsibility for the vulnerable, and a commitment to the common good. Democracy doesn't need just votes. It needs people. People who believe that their presence is part of a larger moral story. It needs people of faith and conscience who understand that civil engagement is a spiritual practice, a way of living out our deepest values out in public. And so we step in, we show up, we act, not because it's easy, but because it's holy. Now, our speaker today brings an extraordinary depth of experience and scholarship. She holds a Ph.D. in healthcare, ethics, a Master of Divinity, and a bachelor's in community ministry. She is the past president of PEN, the Interfaith Impact Network, and a former national director of Entasaki, a women's public leadership initiative, and now serves as PEN's executive director. Her leadership has been recognized with numerous awards. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Reverend Neice Welch.
Good morning. Good morning. Now, let me say this. I don't know who that woman is she just introduced. And if you ask my kids, they would say something very different. If you were in my congregation after that choir sang that anthem, we would all be clapping, standing on our feet, throwing hymn books. It was absolutely beautiful and just touched my soul. So can you just join me in appreciating what they did? And to my friend Diana, who I'm going to owe a check to after service is over for introducing me so nicely. Let me begin by introducing myself in a different way. So I am Denise, daughter of Jacqueline, daughter of Bernice, daughter of Fanny, daughter of Gertrude, daughter of Ludil. I come from a long line of women who faced unimaginable terrors every day. My great-grandmothers, Ludil and Gertrude, were enslaved women. They were enslaved for a time until emancipation came. They lived in a country, this country, that was filled with some who were happy about freedom from enslavement and some who were very angry about that freedom. Sometimes that anger was followed by physical violence, emotional tyranny, and the complete denial of their humanity. And that was their daily existence. They never knew when a husband, an uncle, a son, or a neighbor would be lynched or disappeared or savagely dehumanized, and these women would be left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. What the angry, dehumanizing people didn't know, however, was that the women in my family and other women in the community had a weapon that could not be matched. And that weapon was prayer. It was not just the utterance of memorized or written words, but speech that fell from their lips and poured forth directly from their hearts. The words were heavy, drenched with faith and fear, hope and despair, belief and doubt, but ultimately always gave way to a waiting that told them time and time again nothing would separate them from God's love. And nothing, even if they were snatched from this life, a better life would be waiting, and nothing could separate them. They had this faith in a God they couldn't see, a God I didn't understand, but yet they pressed on. They never sat us down, like you saw this morning, and said to us, "This is how you pray." We learned by watching them, by hearing them sing their songs, and learning to discover the hope in their holler. We learned by being in the room with them when they led us. We were in the church house with them when they led us. We were in the kitchen with them when they led us. Because the thing I got used to, that I witnessed over the years, was that when they finished praying, they went to working. When they finished praying, they cooked, cleaned, sang, watched. Eventually, they marched. They voted, they protested, they preached, because prayers were ineffective if that is only what their faith produced. They put feet on their prayers. And putting feet on their prayers meant they did something after the praying was through. Their faith demanded action, or they would run the risk of treating their God as if God were a cosmic magician, poised to fix all of the problems that we humans created. Their prayers took on journeys from the sanctuary to the kitchen, to the courthouse, to the living room, to the ballot box, or to the store, demanding to be seated and served. These women would often say to me, "Baby, did you pray?" And I would answer, "Yes, ma'am." And then one of them would respond, "But did you put feet on those prayers?" If you didn't do something, then those prayers will bounce off the ceiling. Most of these women had never been to seminary or anything larger than a one-room schoolhouse. But they lived by a faith and a theology that told them they were gifted to do something with the aid of the divine, but not the divine doing the work absent of them. They were given gifts that could be used as tools to repair a world broken by hatred and violence and despair and evil. They could use their balancing skills to feed a family from one pot for 7 days. They could use their skills to teach children how to take care of themselves, how to be respectful, and how to know about this God they served. They used their compassion to help the neighbors recover from a death, from sickness, and from all other social ills. They used the gift of anger to perpetrate civil disobedience, to realize their civil rights, their economic participation, and the absolute refusal to let this country off the hook. Prayer was the fire starter that ignited their action. Feet came after prayer, but there was no prayer without their feet. I'm standing here today as the pastor emeritus of Bidwell Church and the executive director of Penn. As I retired from pastoral ministry, people keep asking me, what does it feel like to be retired? And I keep saying, I don't know. I'm working harder at Penn than I did at the church, or at least I thought I worked hard at the church. But it came to me that Penn is my way of putting feet on my prayers. There is much to pray about, and according to my faith tradition, I just can't pray without working. I cannot stand the immigration, ICE, and DHS policies of this administration. I pray, and the feet I put on those prayers are represented by our immigration task force. I can't stand the way books are being removed from libraries and public education, and America being scrubbed of its full history. I pray, and my feet are represented in our education task force. I cannot stand the way our air quality is ignored while children contract asthma at an alarming rate. So my feet on my prayers are represented by our environmental justice task force. I cannot stand how citizens who are incarcerated and then return home are treated and barred from opportunities that will keep them out of prison. So I pray, and the feet on my prayers are represented in our transformational justice task force. Yes, we got to get people out to vote, so we vote in our values and our issues. So I pray, and I work with our integrated voter engagement process. I pray about the leading voices of our moral compass who can ethically challenge us to keep moving forward, to keep pushing. So my feet are represented by our religious leaders caucus. So it's not just me. What about you? It's no good to pray or think good thoughts or reflect, but then expect someone else to step up and work. Ooh, look how quiet it is now. Can you really sit here today and watch those who say they are pro-life and yet take away all supports from a living child's life? Will you pray only and allow tariffs to put you in a soup kitchen? Will you continue to allow the air quality of our region to deconstruct our health without challenge? Do you want a group? You don't want a group home for pedophiles next door to you. But is it okay with you that one sits in the White House? Yep, I said it. Want me to say it again? No. This is why I get in trouble. And if not, if you don't like that, then there's something you can do. Yes, I want you to pray. Yes, I want you to reflect. Yes, I want you to process. Yes, I want you to meditate. But may I suggest to you that you take a lesson from some old African-American women who've seen horrors and terrors before and do what they taught us to do and put some feet on your prayers. Find your mode of engagement. Find your way forward. Let your prayers activate you and not settle you. And I offer this to you by way of Jacqueline, Bernice, Fanny, Gertrude, and Ludil. Amen.
Wow. All right. Would everybody please rise or embody in spirit as you are willing and able and join in singing our responsive hymn, Lead with Love, which will be led by our marvelous choir. It will be on the screen because we don't have it in the book. That's not it. Okay. Generosity is a spiritual practice, one that enlarges the heart and lightens the spirit. For no matter how much you give or how little you have, in the sharing of it, both the one who gives and the one who receives are blessed. As an independent Unitarian Universalist congregation, we depend on your financial support to pay our staff, to maintain our campus, and to offer meaningful worship services and religious exploration programs. Instructions are online as far as contributions are on the screen. If you are visiting us for the first time today, feel free to let the basket pass. Your presence with us today is your gift. The morning offering will now be received. We appreciate your generosity and will be good stewards of your contributions. Please join me in dedicating the offering. You will see the words on the screen. May these gifts and the work of our hands and hearts give us power to all we stand for as a community of faith. Now, I would like to take a moment to share my gratitude for the time and the talents that happened during this service today. Please hold your applause, but I would like to recognize our pianist, Nick, our choir director, Jeremy Fisher, all the members of the choir, and our speaker, Dr. Reverend Neice Welch. Please rise in body or in spirit as you are willing and able, and join in singing our closing hymn, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, 1008 in the teal hymnal. The words will also appear on the screens.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
I want to close with the words from Ida B. Wells. The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them. Let it be so.